and welcome back to the Flying Scotsman FM channel with another tactical clinic. Today we have taken a tactic that was sent over on Twitter by FM Jono. So what we'll do first is we'll run through the three teams that we have simulated this with, show you the results, and then at the end of the video we will get right into the tactic itself. So with this we start off with Bradford, who were predicted to finish in 6th place in Sky Bet League 2. However, as you can see here, not great success in the cups, but they don't really matter, to be honest. As you can see, they have dominated, well, maybe not quite dominated, but they have finished top of the league, 1 point ahead of Leyton Orient, and then we'll go straight into the table, and this is where it will get interesting. So as you can see, Bradford City with a record of 31 wins, 8 draws, 7 losses, finishing on 101 points, just ahead of Leyton Orient, who finished on 100 points. Now, if you look here, on the final day of the season, Bradford have beaten Leyton Orient 2-1. So what this means is, if we take a look at past positions, Bradford's win on the final day of the season leapfrog them above Orient to win the league. Absolutely phenomenal. What a final day of the season that is, with winner takes all, essentially. Now go into the data hub and just take a look and see exactly how this has performed. So just over 2 goals per game, much higher than the league average, and just under 1 conceded per game, which is always something I like to see. Pass completion rate of around 80%, again higher than the majority of the league. Totaling just over 13.5 shots per game, very, very good. Expected goals against per game is roughly the same as conceded per game, so that's pretty much spot on. And non-penalty expected goals 1.47, so we're massively outperforming that. If we then look at the team performance, we will take a quick look. I should have had this set up at the XG table for this season. So we'll display it in the team analytics, and as you can see here, expected goals 76.5, we scored 99. Expected points 81, we massively overachieved there with 101. And expected points position of second, we've actually went on and finished first. Take a quick look at the squad, see some of the stats here. So Andy Cook, 22 goals, 1 assist. Jamie Walker, Scotsman, like to see it as you would imagine, 20 goals and 11 assists. Goals not really spread out as much as I would have thought. A lot of players in the single digits, but I think if we look there, Andy Cook on 22. If we go to here, Dara Costello scored 24. He was on loan from Burnley, but he's away back now. So in total, he scored 26 goals and got 7 assists for us. We will take a look through the schedule, see if anything massive jumps out. We actually got off to a pretty average start. So we beat Doncaster 5-0 in the opening day before 3 back-to-back draws in the league. We'll go on a nice wee winning run. And as you can see, there's a lot of patches here. It looks like in the start of December we had a bit of a bad spell, losing to Orient there. We actually drew with them in the FA Cup first round. Then they beat us in the replay. Then they beat us in the league. But then, as we all know, as we saw earlier, we beat them on the last day of the season, which is what mattered most to take the title for Bradford. So there we have it. This tactic from FM Journal has seen Bradford win the league. So now we will go and take a look at the second team we've tested this, which was Liverpool, who were expected to finish second in the Premier League. So here we are with Liverpool. As you can see, runners-up in the FA Community Shield, runners-up in the Carabao Cup, knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Nottingham Forest, a 3rd place finish in the league, quite a bit off the top 2, especially Man City, so 3rd is a bit of a disappointment. However, as you can see here, they have won the Champions League 3-0 against Real Madrid. Goals from Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Darwin Núñez in the 93rd minute to win the game comfortably 3-0. Again, we'll take a look at the data hub, just see exactly where things are going. So again, goals just over 2.08. Non-expected penalty goals 2.29, so we've actually underperformed on our expected goals this season. Pass completion ratio of 85.6%. Shots per game just under the 17 mark, which is really, really good. Expected goals against per game is 1.35, with goals conceded 1.03. So we are doing better in terms of the amount of goals we're actually conceding compared to what was expected of us. Now, I am a bit nervous about looking to see the XG table to see if we have underperformed overall. So the team analytics, Expected goals 91.9, actual 79. So we have underperformed on expected goals in the league with this tactic for Liverpool. Expected points pretty much bang on. I mean, I think it's a bit unfortunate that that's in red. I mean, it's 71.3 rounded, that would be 71, so we're bang on there. In expected possession, we finished exactly where we should have done. Now, again, look at the squad. Darwin Núñez, 59 goals, 2 assists. Mo Salah, 16 goals and 14 assists. And then just a lot of players on the single digits. Gakpo on 8, Kanate 7, Diego Jota with 6 goals despite only starting one game. And as you can see here, Trent Alexander-Arnold, with 32 assists across the season. That's absolutely phenomenal. As you can see here, when I quick picked this just after looking at the tactic after the season, he has been playing the midfield right position, which we'll get onto in a wee minute. So again, take a wee look at the schedule, see how we got on, see kind of where it fell apart. So lost 2-0 to Manchester City in the Community Shield. Went a nice wee winning run, lost to Man City in the Premier League. Looks like we had Bayern Munich, Celtic and Sporting in our Champions League group. So a loss here, a win, a draw, a win, a loss and a draw. So it looks like we have pretty much just scraped through, it might have seemed like. Yeah, so we just scraped through 1 point ahead of Celtic. But as you saw, we went on to win the whole thing. And we had a bit of a bad run here in October, like getting beat off at Tottenham, getting hammered off at Celtic, up at Celtic Park. Always a tough place to go. Went on a good rerun here, lost to Man United, drew with Villa, lost to Leicester, lost to Man U again, lost to us. We're just losing far too many. We're dropping far too many easy points as well. Lost to Palace there. Champions League, I actually meant to have so here we go, last 16. We drew 1 each with Napoli at home before winning 2-0 away. And amongst that time, we lost 2-1 to Spurs in the EFL Cup final. 2 relatively late goals from Harry Kane put them through, despite the fact they've done 10 men from early doors. Nottingham Forest put us out 2-1 after extra time in the Cup before we absolutely battered them 4-0 in the league just a couple of days later. A 1-0 loss to Bournemouth. Not great. Champions League next stage, so we won the first leg of the quarterfinals 4-1. Kanate, Diaz, Firmino and James Milner scoring the goals before losing 5-3 away from home. When you go through 8-6 on aggregate. Lost to Spurs, lost to City here. Beat Milan 4-3 away, drew 1 each at home, put us through into the Champions League final. And as you see, we had a good finish to the season here. 4-1 win against Arsenal, 3-1 against Leeds, 2-1 against Brentford, and then as we saw, we won the Champions League. So overall, mixed season, would you say? I mean, we won the Champions League, we finished third, got 2 runners-up medals, so take of that what you will. Liverpool fans, would you be happy with the season? Finishing well off the pace in the league, but you did win the Champions League. Let me know down below. And now onto our final team of this tactical clinic. Here we have it. The final team of this tactical clinic was Red Bull Leipzig, or RB Leipzig as they are known. An absolutely phenomenal season, as you can see from them. Started off the season as runner-up of the DFL Super Cup, as well as winning the DFB Pokal and winning the Bundesliga. Absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, 1 point ahead of Bayern Munich. We'll just take a look and see exactly how things transpired here. So, yeah, we'll look at the final couple of games of the season. That was the playoffs. So, look at the last, say, 3 game weeks. So, game week 3, we lost to Werder Bremen. That Bayern beat the Schalke 4-0. And then going into this, we beat Bayern Munich 1-0 in the second last game of the season, which will have just put us ahead, I would imagine. And then the final game of the season, Bayern Munich were held to a 1-1 draw with FC Cologne, and we smashed Schalke 5-1. So, how did we get on throughout the season? Let's take a look. We went top on the final day of the season. As we beat Schalke and Bayern dropped points, we won the league. So we were not top of the table at any point throughout the season, which is amazing to see. Absolutely amazing to see. We will now again, as always, take a look at the data hub, see exactly how we've got on. Goals per game 2.38, which is above what we were expected to get, which is always great to see. 15 shots per game, and we're conceding just under what we were expecting, which is just over 1 goal, which is phenomenal. Next, take a look at the team performance, take a look at the XG. So we scored 10 more goals than we were expected to. We get 13 more points than expected, which is phenomenal, and we finished one position above where our expected points had us. Absolutely phenomenal results. So top scorer of the season is our returning Timo Werner with 31, Christian Nkunku scored 19, Andre Silva with 19, Sorloth wasn't with us, Dani Olmo with 15, but also look at that, 26 assists from Dani Olmo, and then just a splattering of players with goals chipping in. You know, Schläger, who, when I did this, finished, he was playing in defensive midfield, scored 4 goals, but 14 assists. In the assist numbers, we have, was that 6 players with more than 10 assists? So Nkunku, oh, you've done this, I cannot pronounce names. Shobsalai, sorry, 11 assists, Forsberg 11, Schläger 14, Timo Werner with 14, and Dani Olmo with 26. So again, we'll look at the schedule, just have a quick run through that, and then we can see exactly how we got on. So we lost 2-1, DFL Super Cup to Bayern, went ahead 1-0, but went 2-1 down in the end. Very good start here. Let's just check it. Look, Champions League goes 3-1 to Man City, beat Olympiacos, drew with our feeder club, you know, in the same connection, the Red Bull family. Drew with them both legs. Maybe a bit of match fixing going on there, who knows. Olympiacos beat them 5-4 before losing to Man City 2-0, so let's have a look. Yeah, so went through that group on 8 points. Red Bull Salzburg on 8 points. I feel like that could be fixing, in my opinion. So after the World Cup break, we started with a 3-2 win against Bayern. So we beat them twice in the Bundesliga, which is absolutely phenomenal. Love to see it. Keep going down. Great win against Stuttgart 5-1. Beat Bournemouth, Dortmund rather, 1-0. Champions League we lost 3-1 to Milan and then 4-2. So we were absolutely battered in the last 16, unfortunately. The DFB Pokal quarterfinals we put out Heidenheim 3-1, then semi-final put out Gladbach 1-0, before beating Schalke 2-1 in extra time. Very late goals. Andrew Silva in the 87th minute before Danny Latza equalised in the 92nd, and then Kevin Campbell scored the winner in extra time. So we have it. That's the Red Bull Leipzig, RB Leipzig results. Runner-up in the Super Cup, and then the double in Germany. Phenomenal. Now, last but not least, on to the tactic. So this is the Danny Boy tactic, as it was named. I can't remember why. I think it was after a player called Danny, I'm assuming, in the first experiments from FM Journal. So as we can see, sweeper keeper on support, back 4, full back on support, full back on defend, 2 ball-playing defenders both on covering duties, deep lying playmaker on support, just offset to the right, centre mid and attack, just offset to the left, winger and attack on the right hand side, attacking midfielder, just offset to the right, third winger on attack, and an advanced forward on attack. And when you look through, both full-backs, the deep lying playmaker already has it set, centre mid on attack, the winger, and then the 2 advanced midfielders all have a shoot less often on, whereas the advanced forward has shoot more often on. So basically it looks like they're just funneling everything down to Timo Werner in this team. So it's a positive mentality, you know, shorter passing into space, playing it from defence, hitting the early crosses, running at defence, being more expressive, focusing play down both flanks, overlapping both flanks, higher tempo, fairly narrow. In the transition, the goalkeeper is going to throw it long, distributing it out to the fullbacks either side, going to counter and counter press. Out of possession, it is a higher defensive line, high press, pressing much more often, preventing the short goalkeeper distribution and trapping outside in the press. So we have a very, very, very attack-minded tactic, and I would say it has worked. FM Journal has created an absolute blinder here. Bradford winning the league, Liverpool winning the Champions League, and then Red Bull Leipzig winning the double. Now, this tactic was originally created before the winter patch. However, this tactic has been tested on the winter patch, and these are the results. So it still works in the winter patch, FM Jono. If you've not tried it out yourself, no need to worry if it doesn't. But that's this tactical clinic over and out. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe as always. If you are wanting your tactic tested in the channel, please either leave me a comment and I'll get in contact with you on YouTube, or you can always email me or catch me on Twitter. Both of those are in the channel description. And until next time, see you later.